Welcome to Manna at the Tap, a podcast of Tapestry Ministries. Each episode reflects on a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler on a spiritual journey with the Tapestry community, and we refer to the daily Bible reading as our spiritual manna. It nourishes our souls, fostering spiritual growth as we share insights and interpretations that enrich our spiritual lives. Today is Monday, March the 23rd, 2026, during the fifth week of Lent. The lectionary reading is from the book of Acts, authored by Dr. Luke, the writer of the Gospel of Luke. The book of Acts recounts the story of the apostles and the earliest Christian communities following the resurrection and ascension of Jesus, with a particular emphasis on the apostles Peter and Paul. Luke himself traveled with Paul and his associates. And the lectionary reading is from Acts chapter 20, verses 7 to 12, the story of a lucky young man named Eutychus. The Apostle Paul was on his third missionary journey, traveling through Macedonia and Greece. He wanted to connect with the Christian community in Troas, present-day Turkey, to encourage them before continuing to Ephesus. Paul was preparing to leave the following day, so on the Sunday evening, the community gathered in an upstairs room. Paul began speaking and continued well into the night. Eutychus, a young man, was sitting in an open window, dozing off and eventually falling into a deep sleep as Paul kept speaking. Suddenly, Eutychus fell from the third story, and by the time people rushed downstairs and picked him up, he was dead. Paul then made his way down the stairs, and when he reached Eutychus, he threw himself on him, wrapping his arms around him. Then he said, "He's alive." Paul, Eutychus, and the community then went upstairs again, shared communion with them, and kept talking until daylight. As they parted ways, Paul went one way and the community another, with Eutychus being taken away alive and the community full of vitality. Now, this might seem initially like comedy. Paul preaching so long that a young man becomes bored, falls asleep, and drops out of the window dying. But this is a tragedy. Eutychus was sitting on the windowsill at the edge of the room. The community was neglecting his safety and well-being. They did not appear concerned about this young person because he was likely a slave. You see, the name Eutychus was common among enslaved people in that era, meaning lucky purchase. Luke included this story to remind us not only to preach to young people, but also to reach out to young people and embrace them with Christ's abundant love.